city. My name is Lanice Phillips. I am the Communications Manager at the Irrigation Association, and I work as the staff liaison for the Smart Irrigation Month Committee, which is made up of various industry volunteers who help us get the word out about this initiative. So I wanted to start off the presentation with just a few housekeeping notes. So first thing first is that this webinar is being recorded and will be posted for future viewing at the URL listed on the screen. So that's www.irrigation.org/webinar_series. So if you wanted to share this webinar with your colleagues or various coworkers, or if you just wanted to reference it later, you'd be able to find it there. And then we will have a moderated Q&A portion at the end of this presentation. So please feel free to type your questions into the question panel of the GoToWebinar toolbar at any time, and then we will try to get to them at the end. And without further delay, I would just like to introduce you to our guest speakers. We have Lowell Caulfield and John Farner. Lowell is a member of the Smart Irrigation Month Committee, and he was our committee chair last year. And he has been actively involved in the Smart Irrigation Month initiative, especially when it comes to leading efforts to get official proclamations at the city and state level. And he has seen firsthand the benefits of how a proclamation can impact your business and just the industry as a whole. And we also have John Farner on board. He is our Government and Public Affairs Director. And he will be available for anyone who has specific state or policy questions at the end. So with all that being said, I'll go ahead and hand it off to Lowell, who will get started with the presentation.
All right. Thank you, Lanice. Well, what we wanted to do today is to kind of go through some of the steps that we have done in the past in order to get and achieve proclamations from cities and states, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that and my experiences with that over the past several years. And we also want to continue to grow the number of proclamations. That's one of the big things that the Smart Irrigation Month Committee is tasked with, because if we're gaining those proclamations, we're really picking up a lot of momentum for the overall initiative. So one of the, for this first slide, what we wanted to do real quick is just talk about what Smart Irrigation Month is all about. The main things are that we educate businesses, homeowners, growers, and other users about efficient water use. We encourage industry firms and professionals to promote smart irrigation practices and technologies, and then lastly, partner with state leadership to proclaim July as Smart Irrigation Month. And of course, that's what we're kind of here to do today, is talk about that process and to help anyone on the call with the information so they can move forward in their own state or their own city to help us with proclamations. So we can go to the next slide. Let's talk real briefly about why should I get a proclamation. A couple of the really neat things that have happened in my world since I believe this will be our 4th year of obtaining a proclamation from the state of Colorado, but it's an obvious springboard for awareness. It gives you something to talk about in your state or your city to let them know that it's just not you kind of talking about Smart Irrigation Month. It's your state or your city is proclaiming July as Smart Irrigation Month, and that gives you a lot of credibility. So the springboard aspect is definitely a big part of it. If you reach out as an individual or for your company, it really starts to establish you as a leader in your market area for being concerned about water conservation and supporting smart irrigation and supporting the IA. I personally, right now, I'm kind of being recognized in the state of Colorado as the guy. I mean, everybody, oh yeah, you're the sim guy. I mean, you're the guy that cares. You're the guy that's getting the proclamations, and that's really benefiting my company, CPS Distributors, because we are really being looked at as the leaders in our marketplace. And quite honestly, that's a great position to be in this day and age. So I would encourage you to do, to get involved for that reason as well. One of the things that it's really helped us with is reaching out to the media outlets. That's even our local newspaper here in Denver has published information, the Garden Center information, and added our Smart Irrigation Month bullet points. We've had our local trade associations very involved with Smart Irrigation Month and the proclamation. Once we let them know that the state of Colorado, the city of Denver, and some other cities around Colorado are supporting this, they get very excited. It gives them something to promote and write about. So that's a nice thing to do as well. Municipalities, we reach out to a lot of the different municipalities and all through our state and let them know that the governor is supporting our initiative, and they in turn feel like, wow, we should support this as well. And then of course it helps us in selling those water conservation products to our contractor base and really educating our contractor at a grassroots level to the point where I have several contractors in Colorado now that reach out to the public in their presentations, informing them about SIM, informing them about what we're doing on a national level, and letting the homeowner know these are the products you can install, and these are the products that if you install them, you will be supporting water conservation. So all of those things are really good reasons to go out and do the little bit of effort it takes to reach out and get a proclamation in your area. So next slide, please. Okay. One of the things that we've noticed is that each state is just a little bit different in how you apply. And for your state, you may have to jump through a couple of hoops, or you may have to do something a little bit different than what we have done here in Colorado and Wyoming. And that's a really good kind of contrast, is the difference between those two states. But whatever it is in your state, we're going to talk a little bit about maybe a good process to get started. But just so you know, it is a little bit different. There is no kind of stamped way to reach out to your state or your city. Each one's a little bit different. So what we want to do right now is I'm going to talk about my experiences and the experiences we've had at CPS distributors here in Colorado, and what we did and kind of what our steps were to attain a proclamation. And one of the first things we did was we contacted the IA, and of course John was on the call, and I contacted John via email and asked him for some language, and we wanted to use that language and kind of adapt it however we needed to for the state of Colorado in order to gain a proclamation. And John, I don't know, do you have a comment about the language itself? I don't know if you can hear me. So at any rate, we can keep going on that. But John is a great contact, obviously, for the IA. So when you look at the language itself, you'll notice on your screen there was a lot of whereas comments. And what we did was we took this language and we just adopted it for our state, our city. We used a lot of the verbatim language that's written here, and in the state of Colorado, they asked us to make a few comments about our company, why we were doing what we were doing, why it was important to us, and for the most part, John has done a great job of setting you up with the language that you need. So this is the form. In the state of Colorado, you go on a website and you basically just navigate your way to fill out a request or submit a request with the state. And what we did was we filled in all these blanks with the language that was supplied to us. So it asks right there, sample language. It asks information about my organization and, of course, the dates that we were looking at. So we put July in there. We did a small bio on our company at CPS Distributors and why we wanted to support the proclamation, and of course we filled in the language. And then really it's name, address, or name, email, and primary phone, and hit submit, and it's off it goes. So very easy in Colorado. The next thing we did here is we went ahead and called the state capitol. We had gotten a phone number that where we could reach out and we got a contact name. It tends to change a little bit, just so you know. State employees tend to rotate around a little bit, but we were able to find a contact and just confirm that they got our request for proclamation, and they're very cordial about it. Said, yeah, we've received your request and we'll be sending you an email within, I believe we have 4 to 6 weeks, which is our typical wait time. The acceptance of state of Colorado, yeah, it took about 5 weeks. We received the official document via email, but we also asked if we could pick it up, and they do a really nice job of presenting it to you on a piece of parchment with the state seal, and it's kind of cool. It's kind of fun to go down to the state capitol and pick up your proclamation, and then we had a really nice hard copy that we were able to share, and then of course we had a PDF form that we were able to share with in publications and use it in other ways as well. So we can go to the next slide. So one of the big questions that we've been asked is, so you've got this proclamation, now what are you going to do with it? And so I personally faced that several years ago. I came back from the state capitol. I had this proclamation. I went, wow, this is really cool. Now what? And for me and our company, we're pretty good at marketing, and I have an inside person that I have as an advertising manager, and we just had a small sit down to say, how are we going to reach out to our marketplace and let them know about this proclamation? So what we did was obviously inform our local trade association, which is the Association of Landscape Contractors of Colorado, the local Landscape Architect Association in our marketplace. We have a group called Colorado Waterwise, which is a nonprofit group that puts all kinds of neat stuff on their website about water conservation in our state. And then we reached out to another organization in Colorado called GreenCo, and GreenCo is all of the landscape industry associations under one umbrella. And so when we reach out to GreenCo, we really reach everyone in our state in regards to people that are involved in landscape, which is our primary marketplace here. So getting the word out and letting people know that you have the proclamation, you will be amazed at how much interest you get because of the fact that our governor is supporting what we do, and you would find the same in your state, I'm sure. So CPS as a company decided that we needed to promote Smart Irrigation Month. The proclamation was one piece of that, so we've been running an e-newsletter to our customer base, which goes out to several thousand people every single month, and we always put a lot of information about Smart Irrigation Month, particularly the months of May, June, July, and August, but you'll see the Smart Irrigation Month logo all over the place at CPS year-round. We do tweet and we do a Facebook presence, and we're always putting up comments about Smart Irrigation Month. We have information at point of sale at my sales counters. We do mailers, and we make sure that on our mailers we're talking about Smart Irrigation Month. We do counter day barbecues and specifier events where we're promoting Smart Irrigation Month alongside of anything else that we're trying to get done as a company. And we just think that if you're going to support SIM and you're going to get that proclamation, it's really great just to add it into what you do. We're always looking for ways to advertise, and we're always looking for good angles as marketers, and SIM is just it's kind of a softball just served up for you in order to use that to market your company. In the state of Wyoming, we had a little bit of a different experience. There was no website. There was no way to reach out through the internet, and we literally wound up having to call the state of Wyoming. We had to talk to 4 or 5 different people to find out who in the world it was we needed to finally talk to, and that person wound up being the office manager of the governor's office. And once we were able to talk to that individual, at that point we were able to obtain a proclamation from them by kind of going through the steps from emailing them the information. We sent them the Smart Irrigation website. We copied what we did for the state of Colorado. And we also did press release from the IA, and we sent language from Colorado Proclamation in a Word document. And with all of those things being sent to Wyoming, they thought, well, yeah, we should probably create a proclamation, and therefore we were able to achieve that proclamation from the state of Wyoming. But obviously a much different scenario than what we had done for the state of Colorado via the internet. So one of the things we wanted to talk about today was, you can see in 2013 we had 14 proclamations. Not all of those were state. A lot of those were with cities. And in 2014, we were able to achieve 20. So the Smart Irrigation Month Committee is definitely moving in the right direction. And we are really excited about trying to make that 20 states or cities turn into 30 or 40 states and cities. The more we get out there in the way of proclamations, the more impact we have as a group on a national level. And at the end of the day, that's our job at the Smart Irrigation Month Committee, is to create that awareness. And so we're really excited about what we've been able to do. But one thing I want to point out is you don't want to overlook the opportunity with different cities that you can get involved with in your market areas, because every city can kind of put that out there to their readership or their citizenry and let them know they're supporting SIM as well. So it's good momentum, and we like to keep it going. So, you know, where to go for more information, or where can you send anyone that you're dealing with for more information? It's obviously the Smart Irrigation Month website. Those are posted here. You can gain a lot of good information there. The Smart Irrigation Month logo is available, newsletter articles, public service announcements, press release templates, statement stuffers, sample proclamations, webinars featuring success stories and ideas, and of course this webinar will be posted as well, so that anyone that wanted to go back and kind of get that comfort zone with reaching out to their state or city, it may help them do that as well. But the website that the IA puts out there gives you a ton of good information to get started. So at that point, we've kind of gone through why, you know, what the purpose of SIM is, and why you might want to get involved, and why proclamations are important, and a little bit about my experiences with gaining proclamations in my market areas. And we are kind of now at the point where we just, anyone has questions or comments, we are certainly would entertain those. And you can, I don't know, I believe we have a place you can type in questions if you want to type in a question for Lenise or myself, and then we can answer those questions if you have them.
Yep, and as of right now, we don't have any questions, but we will certainly stay on just a little bit in case anything comes to mind.
Great. And Lenise, do you know if John was able to hear us?
Yeah, that was my fault. I had him muted by accident. So John, if you have anything you want to say about the proclamations, or the proclamation language, then feel free. But I think
can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me okay now?
I'm sorry?
Can you hear me okay now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. Sorry about the background noise. I'm in Tulare, California right now, and I'm having some problems getting to an area that is quiet. So Will gave a great presentation outlining everything you need to know about Smart Irrigation proclamations. Only thing I will add regarding the actual language is that the IA has basically a template, as Lowell mentioned, of what good language is for a proclamation. However, if you go through and look at each one of those 20-plus proclamations that happened in last year in 2014, each one's a little bit different. Some may be the same, but each one has a little flair to it. So there's no problem at all. If you go to your city, your state, municipality, and ask for a proclamation, give it some spin on what's going on in that state. And I think doing that and bringing that to the table will actually increase your chances of having the governor or the mayor or whomever be more interested in giving a proclamation.
Yeah. Lenise, do we have any questions out there?
Nope. I think you did a good job preemptively answering any questions folks might have had.
Okay. Well, at this point, I would like to thank everyone for attending that got on today, and hopefully that has given you some good information. I would say that working with the IA through Lenise or myself, I would obviously be willing to answer any questions privately if you had questions of your personal situations and where you're living. And other than that, I would, again, like to thank everyone for attending, and we can adjourn our meeting at this point. And again, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, everyone.